In this speech, Ibrahim Traore says, when he was about to cut his the diplomatic ties between France and Burkina Faso, he really received a lot of threats and a lot of warnings. He was warned, he was told, you know what you're about to do is very, very dangerous and it's going to cost you. And the man went ahead and do what he had to do, because at the end of the day, he was determined to do that. And he was determined to help the people of Burkina Faso and the people of Africa. He was up to the revolution and he couldn't give up. So even with threats and warnings, he said, okay, so let it be however it's going to be. Anything that is going to be, anything that my actions will give birth to, I'm ready to breastfeed. And therefore he went ahead and did what he had to do. And so today he says he really thanks the people of Burkina Faso, because after he had cut the diplomatic ties between himself, between Burkina Faso and France, immediately wars began, terrorism began. But people of Burkina Faso worked with him just as he expected, because the people of Burkina Faso understood the assignment and he really thanked them. Let's take a look.
Thank you very much to everyone for being here. We cannot make a revolution without communicating. Some will say that we shouldn't talk too much, but when we don't speak, manipulation takes over. Understand something. The father of the revolution communicated a lot. I'm speaking here of Thomas Sankara. In one of his statements, he told you this: imperialism is a bad student. When it is expelled from the class, it comes back. It always comes back. And I remember that in his address to his peers in the ECOWAS, he said that to break the umbilical cord that ties us to imperialism, he would not seek a statistician with nimble fingers and a well-sharpened scissors to cut this cord, but rather you will need a robust lumberjack with a well-sharpened axe to give a sharp blow and break the cord. That says it all. I will now explain to you a bit how imperialism behaves. After the assassination, the revolution, precisely, the regime that imperialism wanted was established. In the 90s, you all remember, a program that was imposed on us, the Structural Adjustment Program. It was just a plan. Let me explain to you. By implementing this program in our regions, you notice over the 2 decades that followed, all our factories that were in place were privatized. Our economy was dismantled. They established a neo-colonial system, a system of rampant capitalism that benefits only the leaders and their friends, a small circle. On the side of force, they did everything to dismantle our armies. They said to cut the military budget, to stop equipping them, to stop training, which was done in the sub-region. Our armies were reduced to nothing. They were preparing for it. Meanwhile, major countries like Niger and Mali experienced a resurgence of what they called rebellions. Separatists from nowhere tried to divide this country. They did not succeed, but the culmination of their plan. was that starting from the years 2010, that is to say 20 years later, terrorism made its way into our lands. Indeed, we saw it emerge. 20 years later, individuals were chosen, and they were simply told, go ahead, fighters, their armies are disorganized. We have worked to make this happen. They will never be able to stop you, and you will impose on them what we want. These individuals recruited young innocents, ignorant, in our various rural areas, to whom they administered drugs and led them to kill their compatriots. And the evil was born. How were these individuals maintained? Don't forget, here in Burkina Faso, we were hosting terrorist leaders. It was well planned. And how to achieve it. When these terrorists would launch, there was someone who might intervene in favor of our states. I am naming here the late General Mohammed Gaddafi. He had to be eliminated. And one fine day, they came across him, they eliminated him. They still had that in the plan. The clever idea of putting all the arms and ammunition supplies at the disposal of these terrorists who were supposed to destabilize our sub-region. The plan was perfect. And from then on, they got themselves ready for battle. They started moving down south. We still remember when the regime in place in Bamako at that time called for foreign forces. It only took a few hours for them to deploy. It was well prepared. They deployed and pretended to stop terrorism. And immediately we saw the installation of several foreign forces in Mali. For 10 years, during those 10 years when terrorism was contained in the north, it was invited to the south, and Burkina Faso was infested. Starting in 2015, everything was well planned and well thought out. I still remember when we were in Beir, north of Timbuktu. So we saw special forces from those countries come and surpass us at a glance, going deeper. And upon their return, they were all red. They have small drilling machines and many other geological equipment that we observe. We were wondering where they were getting this red soil. Because while patrolling around Beira, we don't have red soil. Maybe they were digging, they were drilling, we don't know what it was about. The Malian sky no longer belonged to the Malians. Planned a wound. The people who were fighting on the ground also made the observation, and at one point decided to take their responsibilities. And there they are, coming out of nowhere. They call us coup plotters. We are not French. We don't understand what that means. The local lackeys, who surely don't even understand the deeper meaning of the word. They also call us paches. All right, we take it on. Over the years, as far as Burkina Faso is concerned, you must have noticed, all the ports have been dismantled. No more training, nothing left for the army. They imposed what they called military advisors in all our headquarters, all our schools, and all our strategic structures. When we revolted on September 30, 2022, the first thing was to find out who these military advisors were and where they were. So we were able to identify that the problem runs deep. And the first thing was to ask them to leave our army. They left. And what I was telling you, not long ago, you can't hope to find your lost object by calling on the one who stole it to come help you look for it. It was then necessary to decide to make bold decisions. What we decided to do didn't come without consequences. Because when we already asked the advisors to leave, we felt protests. We were made to understand that we wouldn't be able to get by without them. And every time they told us that, it translated into large-scale attacks on the ground. We received the message loud and clear when at the beginning of 2023, we decided to tell the foreign forces present here to leave because we want to fight in Sochiak, Burkina Faso. They surely didn't appreciate it. But why come to die on our land for us? We prefer to fight ourselves. We asked them to go back home. Unfortunately, I'm telling you here today, as I like to say, colonization has returned. There are some armchair slaves who still haven't understood. At that time, military officers wrote to us and approached us to say that it was a very bad decision and that we wouldn't last 2 months. Sheets have been written. We were given these sheets to do a strategic analysis of their thoughts. We said that either we are sovereign or we remain slaves forever. Indeed. When the last soldier left Burkina Faso, we understood what it was all about. The attacks followed one after another immediately. Ndeo, Tinakov, Partiaga, and so on. But what they had forgotten is that the people of Burkina Faso understood our message and committed themselves to the same path as us. We reorganized ourselves quickly, and suddenly we have noticed that all the dormant terrorist cells have awakened in Burkina Faso. We reorganized the army as quickly as possible at an unmatched speed. We have created several units, and even though more are on the way, we have equipped them. And today, this equipment is ongoing, because in the days to come, in the months to come, what you will see happening in Burkina Faso must make our army a formidable force. We will not spare any resources. We understood that the fight against imperialism will be tough, very tough. But only the tough will make it through, and the Burkinabés are tough. And we will go even further. I'm here to tell you that imperialism has all the time in the world. When he wants to destabilize, he looks at the media. If it's not possible, he lays the groundwork to make it happen. In 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. But he has no interest in us being independent. Today, all he wants for Burkina Faso is chaos. Because they hope to bring these foreign forces here and expect to recover the situation in 10 years, maybe even in 20 years. But we will never let them achieve that goal. That's why we have been warning for over a year. The local lackeys, the salon slaves, so that they do not betray.
If you've heard that speech, you'll realize that the Europeans and the imperialists, they are kind of people who really take advantage of people. And before they come and begin doing something, or rather before they come and start doing something, they will sit down, they will draw on the paper and plan how they will come and overtake and take over you. They will really plan, and after planning, they come to execute. So they are very smart upstairs. But the problem now is, at a time that we are today, Africans have waken up. These are not those fool Africans who used to be fooled, because Africans and even black people in the United States of America today, and those who are living in diaspora, they were lied about Africans so many things. They were lied so many things. So they used to think Africans are bad people. Even today, there's some Africans, there's some black Americans and African Americans who think that black Africans who are in Africa don't like them. I was sharing with my brother, Kenyan Beast, and he was telling me, African Americans who are in America today, they think and they feel like Africans are bad people. They feel like Africans are not good people. Why? Because they were lied to. They were lied to that Africans are not good people, and therefore it is very difficult for them to come back to Africa because they feel like we don't love them. So all were lies. And these are some of the things that these imperialists were using to make sure they divide us. Because what they do is dividing and ruling. That is what they do. And therefore, it has become very difficult for us to come back together. And that is why every time we preach unity, because we want unity. We know by being united, we can be able to conquer. Okay? So they used to use, they used tricks, many tricks, to make sure they are overcoming us. They are taking over everything. That is what they used to do. They would come and say, you want to do this, you want to do this to help you, you want to do this to help you. Kumbe, they are just blindfolding us. They have already made plans, they have already calculated their moves, and they know if we can be able to do this, we shall overtake them. But they are bad because it's normal. It used to happen, we accept, we were manipulated, we were taken for granted, we were used, we were enslaved, but it's normal because now Africa is changing. The direction to which Africa is taking is very nice, and the direction to which Africa is taking actually makes me very happy because children are speaking, youths are speaking, mothers, women, they are speaking, men are speaking, everybody is speaking. Some other good leaders who have begun seeing sense, they are speaking, and that is what we want. Everybody to see the sense in what we are doing in the so-called revolution. That is what we want. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being here. I am the African Streamline. For the people who actually come here every time and watch me, I thank you because you're supporting me so much. And you guys, may God bless you because you've placed me where I am today. I'm willing to come here time and again to speak these things, to speak out because of you people. God bless you so much. My black brothers and sisters from diaspora, from Caribbean, and from all Africa in particular, I love you so much. I salute you people. And I really pray and wish that one day we shall all be united. I tell you every day, anything that concerns Africa concerns me and you as Africans, because Africa is home and we must protect home by uniting ourselves, coming together and decide this is what we're going to do. Adios, muchachos, my great people. Peace.